What's up, traders? I've got something really cool and fascinating to show you today. It's a little bit esoteric. It's about the way that price moves, but it can be very, very powerful for finding opportunities and trades. I get a question sometimes from people that ask me, well, what's the best time frame to trade? I say that you should be able to find the same patterns on every single time frame. And some people notice that. They comment to me, they say, hey, I saw this pattern and then it repeats itself, but on a wider level. Yes, that's what price does. That's what I find so cool about it. And it's not just academic. This can be very, very useful for finding opportunity and trades. I use it all the time. So let me share with you. This is a trade that I posted a few days ago on the Ethereum Bitcoin crosspair. And what triggered this was a bit of volatility a few days ago when we had the big pump, as it were, recently. And it pulled back to a 50% retracement level, which I love. You know, if you watch my content, that I trade almost exclusively on just 50% levels. And that was really based on the move we had down from the 3rd of January to the 28th of January. Basically, the move of January pulls back to a 50% level, and that sets up a really nice trade. But I want to dig a little deeper. Let's do this. Let's clean up the trade, and let's go down to a 30-minute time frame. So within this time frame, something happened that I thought was really interesting as I've been monitoring how this trade goes along. You had a trend, a little short trend from here to here, and of course it pulled back to the 50% just recently. I think it was yesterday morning, and kissed it right there. Oh, that's really nice. And from that pullback, you now have another leg down. So that's a good trade in itself on the 30-minute. But as you recall, it's part of the broader picture, which is already in play. Let's go up one more time frame. Now, I don't mean by that going up to the 1 hour, because you really need to get an appreciation for the fractal way that price trades. And you're not really going to see that if you just go up incrementally in time frames. You really want to go up to the next fractal. So a multiple of the 30-minute. And so we're going to find that on the 2 hour. So let's jump up to the 2 hour. 2 hour also has a very interesting pattern that really kind of kicked this off. So from here, you have a pullback to here. And that was also right around the 50%. Had a little bit of play above there, but it was very, very close. And depending on where your stop was, you could have played this one as well. Also like this little bit of price action right here to come up and test it and confirm it. That's cool to watch for. Little bonus there. So now we're starting to see some structure here. And if you have studied Elliott wave theory, you probably notice what we're talking about. This is a Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, and it's made up of lots of little A, B, C patterns. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got the book. I've studied the theory. I think he was a really smart, brilliant guy. He identified this phenomenon of how price moves decades ago, I think 100 years ago even. It still works today on cryptocurrency, something that was not even around when he was alive. That being said, I think strategically and academically, it's good to understand these concepts, but tactically for trading, this is just why I use the 50%. It makes things simple, and it captures tradable opportunities within the theory of Elliott wave without having to have a bunch of extra numbers and lines on a chart. I have a limited amount of brain power, and I need to make decisions quickly and without doubt. So that's why I keep it simple. Let's go up one more. Again, we need to go up a fractal increment of the 2 hour. So the 4 hour, the 6 hour won't really do it for us. Let's go to the daily, the staple time frame. And so the move from the beginning of January, January 4th, down to January 28th, that really represents another 50% retracement from a trend. So down to here, down to here. And a little bonus was it also held this little bit of inflection right here to set up the trade that I posted a few days ago and what is really defining this price movement right now. That's the resistance that it hit. It was the 50%. It was also a point of inflection. Now we've kind of charted out the picture of how price has moved over the last month and some change. Let's go down to the middle and let's look at that. So we can see how we have a broad trend that pulls back to its 50%, a smaller trend that pulls back to a 50%, even smaller trend that pulls back to the 50%, and there it continues. So you have these small incremental trends that all look like their larger counterparts. This is the fractal nature of the way that price moves. But of course, the simplest way is to just draw the 50% and look for opportunities on pullbacks. But I really think it's just so cool to watch how price behaves this way. So I encourage you all to look for these kind of patterns if you are academically inclined. And by academically, I mean you just love studying the way price moves. And I think you should. I think a lot of people, they get into trading for money. Of course, that's what it's all about, right? It's about making sick gains. But you really need to understand what you're doing. You need to understand that it's not exactly random. A lot of the time it's random. If you look in here, you'll see a lot of randomness. But if you take the time and develop an analytical approach, you can begin to see structure that repeats itself. Because ultimately what you want to do is you want to take trades where you expect it to work out. That way you can actually put a meaningful amount of risk on it and have a profitable strategy. So I'm ending the view on a rant. I hope this is helpful to everyone, all of you aspiring an analyst. And if you want to, join me on my social media, my Discord below. If you like this video and you have any questions about it, or post some comments, I get to them. I don't charge for what I do. Stuff like this, just it excites me. It's just so much fun to watch when these patterns play out, and they're easy to watch and study and find profitable opportunities. So trade wisely. We'll see you guys in the next video.